Hey there, welcome back to Let's Suffer Together. We're back today with the Undermine Relic tier list with Priskip. How you doing, man?
Yeah, pretty good.
And Headwound. What's happening, man?
It's going good. This is it. This is the last 9.
It is, you have all
Excited.
made it to the final episode of the tier list. We will now have a full picture of how we all, as a community of us three, rate these things. And with your talkings in the comment section, we have a bit of knowledge about what you think as well. I appreciate it, guys. Everybody keeping up with the series. It's been fantastic all the way along. But first, we've got to talk about a little math, so I'm going to shut up a little while and let Priskip explain a little bit what he's been doing, the research, about the relic from yesterday, the little lockpick.
Yes. So yesterday we talked about the lockpick and how exactly it worked. So before I explain this graph here, let me go back to the lockpick's page and explain how it works again. When you find a lockpick, you have a small chance that it can break when you go and use it. It starts off at 2%, and then every time that you use it, that percentage goes up by 2. So I thought, well, in between episodes, I would actually do some trials on this thing, write a quick little program, do about 10,000 trials or so, and see what the average of everything was. So back to the graph. What I did is I conducted 10,000 experiments of having the lockpick and seeing how far you could get with it before it breaks. The x-axis is the amount of times you get, or how many times how many keys this thing will save you before it breaks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. The vertical axis is the amount of times in the 10,000 trials, how many trials it survived that long. So, for example, it lasted 5 times, about 840 times out of 10,000 trials. So, I took this graph, I took the data that I had, and I computed the 95% confidence interval, and the average and the 95% confidence interval. So, on average, you get about 8.6 uses out of the lockpick. So, it will save you about 8 to 9 keys roughly on average, with a confidence interval of between 8.5 and 8.69 or so, 19 times out of 20. Minimum
Basically
amount of
8.
uses, basically 8 or 9. So, minimum amount of uses that you'll expect to get out of this thing is 1, where you just use it and it breaks on you, and roughly the maximum amount of times that you can expect to get. Maximum amount of times that this thing will survive is about 28. So, but with that knowledge in hand, where do we think we need to re-rank this?
Not
I would say yes.
necessarily. Instant conflict, I like it.
I would absolutely say yes. If you're going to take one major and one minor curse, and this thing's only worth on average, so let's even bump that average up to 10. I mean, it's not that good.
Sometimes it's going to do more. That's what averaging
Sometimes.
is. You know, sometimes it's going to be less. I mean, it's an RNG game. You roll the dice as usual, and it's going to save you resources no matter what. I mean, how many rooms? Of course, you could get through 8 keys in one floor. You could, but likely it's going to last you at least like half a series of floors, maybe 3/4, and that's going to allow you to build your key resource, maybe unlock things you wouldn't have unlocked in the first place, and of course it's limited. But
yeah, I mean, if it's only 8 or 9 keys on average, and sometimes less, and sometimes more, but most likely not. It doesn't have that value for me. It's if I know every single level, you get a store, and you get the opportunity to buy at least 2 keys on average. That's enough to get you through the floor, sometimes even more. And then there's the keys that you find throughout the floor.
that's not about the 2 keys on average in the shop, because again, how the meta progresses, sometimes you're not even guaranteed 1.
That's right.
Like when you
But I mean,
first
on
start the
average.
game, of course. But when you first start the game, you're not guaranteed keys. You are either guaranteed a key, a bomb, or a curse removal. So having this early game, it racks up the importance even more with if you haven't got the shop meta down yet. But it does lose value later on as you progress the shop meta. I looked at it wrong when I was looking at the graph. I don't know why I thought it was rabbit's gloves. Me mixing up the pictures. It's not C.
No.
So I was wondering, why do you want to put it lower than a bloody totem? But yeah, I know what you mean. Probably B minus. I'd be willing to bump it down one, just for because I thought the average was above 10, maybe. So I think just from my own math perspective, ew. I don't like to think on. Would you like
B
it lower? I
it
mean,
is.
give us your honest opinion.
I was actually thinking a C plus, but
Probably when you look at
I
intensifier,
always-
maybe.
I mean, I forget the early game before you've got shop items unlocked. But then again, that only lasts maybe 20 or 30 runs before you've got the entire shop unlocked. And that's maximum.
Yeah.
So, and the fact is that most people are probably not going to be unlocking too many shoguls. So I think for the curses that you get, I think it's a little too heavy. And I could absolutely see like 2 minor curses, take it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I think what some inexperienced people will do, they will often just take relics to have relics to learn what they do. And they'll take the one with the least ramification, like they'll take the one with the least actual relic curse cost, which is going to be often a lockpick if it shows up. And again, early game, they might make the right choice there. So hopefully they might get used to it quite early, understand the actual... How many times have you been locked out of relics early game? I know it's been quite a pain in the ass for me. Like, you open a shop with a lock and a key, and then you go in and there's no key in there, so you're like, I'm down a key. And then if you can't stack bombs, you're not blowing up rocks. I think the ramifications for the early game, I think we need to express the importance of it potentially for it. Because people, if they don't actually understand the potential, might miss out on it, like you were saying. There's potential that you go into a devil deal, and it's like, it's got ramifications, I'm just leaving it and abandoning it, and just going for the regular stuff. But then you've got the other types of players who just take anything, which I salute you.
Yeah. You know what? I'm okay with the B minus, but if we get enough comments in the chat that say, you know what, I don't take it, it's not worth it anymore because I find that I get enough keys to satisfy my run, maybe we reposition it.
Yeah, maybe. It's one of those that get down in the comment section. Let us know. Always willing to reassess through the common good and the common discussion. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, with that discussion out of the way, we'll move on to the actual first relic of today's conversation, which is a craftable version of the lockpick that you get by combining the lockpick and the lucky charm. This thing combines the effect of the lockpick and the lucky charm and gives you a bonus that the lockpick will never break. It's a chance not to die and no chance to break. It's essentially a direct upgrade on the lockpick, and the functionality of the lucky charm is not hindered, so I think this one's pretty good. What do you guys think?
I don't think I've ever actually had the combination of getting both. It's that kind of rare.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, the concept appeals, most certainly, because then it obviously goes into what benefit are you going to get from stacking keys after that. Keyblade, which hopefully you've got a good chance of bumping into at some point, despite its rarity. I mean, the 3 key chests is something I always ignore because the value just isn't worth it for what you get out of it. Usually you can get a blessing, you always get a ham, and you get some good cash money out of it. So for early game, if you can make this and open up the 3 key chests, you're going to be making a lot of money. You're going to be getting some good healing, and hopefully some blessings to move you on a little bit further in the game. I mean, it's why the lockpick in general is one of those that really appeals to me, because it allows you to progress in resource management, the stuff you would never normally do, so... that's hard to assess, though, properly.
Headwound?
I've not taken this. I haven't earned it. I don't have the lucky charm unlocked. I could see absolutely the benefit of getting a chance to not die, and also basically unlimited key unlocks. That feature is really cool. But it requires that you have both, and it requires that you get Shogul to get the lockpick.
Yeah, it's a pain to get.
Yeah. I mean, okay. This is the only time a combination relic, I think, is potentially better than its equivalent of at least one.
Yeah,
Well, you're always going to
I
get
would
the
agree.
potential revive, so...
Yeah. So I don't think I want to put it lower than the lucky charm.
Yeah. In my experience, this thing is really nice because essentially the only way that you could lose keys is from a curse or by selling your keys to Black Rabbit for some items. Other than that, any amount of keys that you would use, say you get the tariffs and the the shop lock curse, where the shops become extra locked, you could be spending 8 keys on to get into a shop if you have those 2 curses. If you have this thing, that's irrelevant. Throw it out the window. You don't have to worry about spending all them keys. And you get all the 3 key chests for free, which are amazing, like Suffer pointed out. It's really nice. I would probably put it about A-.
Yeah, I'd, again, see the benefit of putting it over the key ring. Just because, again, resource management, huge part of the game. You still get
Yep.
the chance of a revive. You're still going to have to take the cut, again, when you're talking about combination relics. Even though we're assessing this on its own, you still have to consider the constituent parts that you take in the curse for it. Well, at least half of it. So, even so, still worth it to make this combination. Say you have the key ring first, and then you go into a Shogul, find the lockpick. Yeah, definitely pick it up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Gonna be a handy one. I think for the next one, me and Headwound decided to give it the old switcheroo. So I
Yes, we
believe
did.
if that's what you're still up for, nice.
Yeah.
Next
So
up,
you're up, Suffer.
the old inverter. Again, this used to be everywhere, absolutely everywhere in the run. But the inverter, oof, rare relic that you will end up unlocking quite late into your undermining. Most other things will be probably unlocked by the point, maybe. But I'm not sure. When you unlock things, I take it they follow an order, don't they? Or is it based on rarity, or is it just kind of completely random order?
I think you find the blueprints at random.
Ah, fair enough.
Well,
So,
are you talking about like finding the relic after you've unlocked it?
no,
Or
finding the blueprint.
Oh, finding the blueprint? Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think they're at random.
Either way, the inverter is one you're going to be wanting to hunt out regardless. Allows you, whenever you remove a curse in any capacity, to gain a blessing for that removal. However, if you've stacked your curse, say you have 5 minor, you will only get 1 blessing, I believe. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
That is correct.
It's
And in-
for every unique curse.
An ingenious inventor came to the faith late and made the most of his second life. Not sure what that's referring to whatsoever, but Inverter is one of those that, if you want to build your blessings up, it's really nice. However, again, always looking at the positives and the negatives, this will give you a random blessing. There is no way to choose the blessings. And that is based on a rarity system that I think the Inverter will be giving you mostly bomb size throw damage. However, there is the odd occasion where it gives you a really nice ferocity, cleave, swing speed. Something you're actually going to use. Again, it's one of those depends how much curse you take. This is a way of encouraging familiarization with taking a lot of curse and getting a lot of benefit for it. It really settles you in. It's really rare though. It's one of those that's rare as holy guacamole, and you might not find it too much, but when you do, you can take real advantage of this, guys.
Yeah, indeed. With this one, I've actually seen it show up early, but the majority of the time, it's maybe one of the last 5 relics in my run before I start getting the hot cross buns. But still, like the opportunity that can come of this is tremendous. Let's say you've been doing your run and you're getting a whole bunch of curses and you're kind of waiting until you get that special potion that removes 5 curses, so you're still stacking them, and then you find this one, and then you remove 5 curses and you get 5 blessings in turn. And if you have the special familiar known as Sylph, that's 10. That's 10 blessings, like immediately. That is like crazy. And yes, the blessings that you get are random, but the benefit that comes of this is pretty damn good. Priskip?
Yeah, back in the day, I believe it was 0.4 or 0.5 before they made this thing extremely rare. It was a very common relic. You could often find it in the shop. And with Sylph, it was essentially the meta for getting to the Summoning Stone cap of 30, which that's what the Summoning Stones were capped at back in the day. Now they're uncapped. Yay! But yeah, this thing was the meta, but over time, since it's become rarer and rarer to find, it's not exactly the meta, but if you do have a good Sylph, this thing will really help you pump out those blessings, as the 2 others have said. But you do get random blessings, so if you don't have all the blessings already in your average, it can really mess up your average when it comes to glazing. So I don't know where I want to put this. I definitely think it's an A tier relic, but where in the A's do you think it is?
Yeah, I think because of the random nature, and you have to remove curses in order to get the blessing. I think let's talk about like early summoning stone. Early summoning stone, this is great. Later summoning stone, actually, you know what? All summoning stones, this is pretty damn good.
Yeah, I'd put it more down to actually curse management rather than summoning stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
in early summoning stone, you won't have this. Excuse me. But I didn't believe summoning stones have ever been capped. I thought you could always just go as far as you wanted.
No, it was capped at 30, I do believe, back in the day. Like, real early on. I think it was like 0.4, it was capped at 30. I don't remember, though.
All right. So where to put? I'm leaning towards A minus.
That low?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's the kind of... While it might not be easy to induce astonishing behavior from the Inverter, you need to put a lot of work in. And say not like a payload that gives you an automatic buff. I think what you can do with this, and for making curses one of the worst things in the game, an actual benefit, and it's quite a unique relic as well, nothing else will allow you to do that. I've been looking at A+, to be honest. Just for the interesting nature of it. It turns curses on their heads. It facilitates using a negative for positive, which in games like this is always bound to a bit of fun.
Yeah. I would go right in the middle with an A.
I could buy that.
Just
Same.
because the blessings
An
are
A.
random. If you could choose the blessings, then I would give it A+ or even S.
Yeah, that would be,
insane.
way too strong.
You do have to take an ungodly amount of curse, however, too, or have Sylph at the 3rd level, where you get 2 blessings for every blessing you acquire. And again, the fact that if you got a stacked curse, it equals only 1. Well, that's... Again, there's limitations to it, but you can play with that and utilize it really well, but it's always one I've been really fond of, especially when it was less rare. When you saw it more and could use it. most runs at some point.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm happy for an A. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
So now we have the next relic. It's called Recycler. When I first saw this was released a couple of releases ago, I immediately took it because I love the idea of when I finish opening a chest that the chest may actually become useful to get me something else, whether it was a piece of food, a talisman, a potion, a key, a bomb. It that opportunity was very enticing to me. When I got this and I started to do my runs, generally with Sylph, or other familiars, not necessarily spirit, this didn't have an attraction. It didn't really enhance the benefit. And this was before we found out about potion looping and having the rainbow potion and the all potion and all these other little mechanics. So I think it has its purpose early on, getting you something like, as long as you get in a bomb every once in a while, you could even like trap chests, they can bomb themselves and then in turn get you something, even if it's trapped. But where this really shines is if you have the spirit familiar and you're just trying to get more potions, because bombing a chest at level 2, when you open a chest, you may get a potion. If you don't get a potion, you may get a bomb or a key. If you have a bomb, just bomb that chest again and you get another opportunity to get something in return. And if you're doing the potion loop, that is incredible. You sit in a shop, you find a potion for a chest and you put it down, you get another potion. And then you go through your potion loops, and yeah, so I think it has its ups, it has its downs. It's really only super beneficial with one familiar, and you have to unlock that familiar in order to get it to work in that manner. So I don't know. I like it. I used to hate it. I've been turned around.
Hmm. And Suffer?
It says drops. I don't really use this because, from what I've heard about it in the community, it's not great. And again, even potion looping. Again, you're looking at miniaturizer and the combination of recycler. I don't want to pollute my own RNG loot pool with this, to be honest. Mainly because while I like potion looping, and there is a lot of room for it, and I've done my fair share, I like to be kind of keep potion looping on the side for something that's really nice. And if you can do it, you can do it, but then always revert to a regular run. So I don't like to have my pool not filled with, because it's only one relic. I don't like anything that's kind of wholly unnecessary and specifically for the potion loop, if you get what I mean. Recycler, it says, destroys empty chests for items. So when you bomb a chest, is it classing with spirit at level 2, you opening a chest again where you get a potion? Because I assume this just drops items. Like a key, a bomb, and an artifact.
Random item gen.
Which includes potions.
Which includes potions.
Even without spirit.
Even without spirit.
That's reasonable then, I suppose. If it includes potions, then it would need to actually be even remotely useful. Makes sense that they didn't just shove in keys, bombs, and artifacts. Although artifacts out of a recycled chest would be quite nice. The fact that you're using a bomb to open it, you can get well, in certain rooms you'll be able to have enemies open it for you. If you open it up, collect all the gold, collect the items, and then get, say, a Bobo to run over it, for instance. Saying that, he might run over the item as well. Bomb dude, the ogres. I mean, it's got its use.
Unstable concoction can also blow up the chest.
Or that, I suppose. Yeah, more potions are never a bad thing.
Nope. Yeah, I actually have never really used this relic. I only had it unlocked in the save where I had everything unlocked just for messing around when I was learning the game. But yeah, even though Headwound uses it to great benefit for his potion loop strats and the Summoning Stone 120s and the 130s, I actually haven't used this thing myself. But I do see its value, and I am considering unlocking this thing fairly soon.
So I'm gonna just put this out there. I look at this as similar to key doubler, bomb doubler.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an A tier by any means.
All right.
But what are your feelings about that comparison?
A really
kinda-
tricky one. Because I don't know the rate of potion drop out of it.
Yeah,
Well, we're not talking necessarily about potions. We're talking about you've got a lot of bombs. You bomb a chest, you get a key. I just converted a bomb into a key in that fashion. Or maybe I needed an extra piece of food and it gave me one of those.
Are you
or
guaranteed
even a
something out of
talisman.
it?
It's a very high percentage, but in my experience, it's probably about 75, maybe 80%.
That's not too shabby.
Yeah.
Nah. Well, I think, or since Headwound has the most experience out of all of us, I think we'll pull something whenever we consider the branding bomb, where you guys let me rank it, because I was really the only one of the three of us that had any experience with the relic. So I think we'll let Headwound rank this one, and then we'll see if we agree with him.
So I would put this at a B minus.
That sounds reasonable. What do you think,
It's
Suffer?
fully reasonable. Like I said, when we had some some disagreement and kind of umming and ahhing about the lockpick, it's one of those that I think we all see different value in it. And B minus and B is a kind of nice place for stuff like that, where we know there's value inside it. We know it's not unlimited value, but it can really precipitate some nice things. Even early on, the recycler, for new people getting more potions, potions can be the key to unlock higher summoning stones, boss fights, like better killing and rooms, stuff like that. I mean, potions can do great work, so as long as they're included at all times from the drop out of the recycler, that improves my image of it a lot.
Yeah, so I think that's a good spot
All
for
right.
it. But moving on to something not nearly as useful as a recycler, in my opinion, is the fan of knives. It releases a spray of daggers when you throw your pickaxe at an enemy. So, whenever you do critical attack damage with your thrown pickaxe, it creates a spray of knives. These knives are considered as throw attacks as well, which means the effect can be chained. Okay. Really didn't know too much about that, because I hardly ever use these things. Don't have them unlocked on my Summoning Stone 90 save, and even when I did have them unlocked in my everything save, it's like a bramble vest for your throw.
The
But
exact
it's
thing I
better
was
than
thinking.
bramble vest. Yeah, at least it's better than bramble vest because you don't have to get hit by something in order for it to trigger. So yeah, Headwound.
I have had this unlocked in a prior save and did have the experience with it. Lackluster damage. And yeah, it's just like I couldn't figure out like which direction it would throw it or whether it actually did any damage, but the damage that I was experiencing that this was delivering out to the enemies was very low in comparison with my general attack. So, yeah, not a fan. Kind of, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
You
a
got that.
worse phantasmal, isn't it?
basically.
While it's
Yeah.
a proximity-based attack, like a bramble vest, and I think they use the same sprite for it, the outward dagger motion. Whether they put that in for bramble vest because they made the fan of knife sprite and the daggers coming out, and just decided, oh, that'll be good for bramble vest. Not sure, but again, the lackluster nature, as Headwound said, and Priskip alluded to, it's just again, it's one that can't really easily be built on. Phantasmal stretches us across the entire screen, hunts down enemies. Could be great as part of a combination with Throwing Star, Phantasmal, Guidance, and the Cracked Orb. But you could easily just collect all of that other stuff and leave out Fan of Knives and still be happy with your build. Well,
Yeah.
I'd probably see it as something like intensify a level of mediocrity, but worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking at C and comparing it with the exactly
The
the
Berserker.
necklace.
Yeah. I would put it at C, just
Yeah.
because it's mediocre, but it does a thing. But it's really not that useful.
Well, it's extra damage, and you can never like consider extra damage bad. But an entire relic for just little prods here and there. I mean, you'll find
Yeah.
yourself literally when you're firing going,
Yeah. I mean, I could see a meta, a bad meta though, where there's the Fan of Knives does 75% of your damage from your throw. And then I could see it being actually kind of useful in a sense. But otherwise, no. See.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on to one. Well, this Kurt stash. Gotta love it, but you have to use it. I mean, you have to get it at a specific time, and then you have to take 10 curses, and then you get 15 items. Are those 15 items useful if you've already got everything that you ever wanted? Well, no, but 75% of the time, you're going to love this one. You do have to build up those 10 curses, and sometimes you may not have enough curses remaining in your run. At least that's what our experience was before we had Ponzu. But now that we have Ponzu and we have Seer, this is good. I love the idea. I always take curses anyways. Like I've done the entire curse runs where I just took every single curse out there that it gave me, and getting this, and then it drops 15 items, which includes curse removals, blessings, potions, keys, bombs. It's a great thing. I love it. Suffer, what are your thoughts?
Before his party was lost, Kurtz had the foresight to stash away some things for safekeeping. Well, who knew he would stash away such an eclectic mix of awesome shit? I mean, this dude facilitates your run so well. You get Kurt stash even early, middle game, sometimes even relatively late game. This dude can literally turn around your run. Mostly as you're getting the higher summoning stones, where you're finding a bit of trickiness to the continuation of rooms and boss fights. Say you've got the skills to fight, but then the kind of damage that comes from them, and you're just needing to stack your damage, this can really facilitate. And of course, it forces you onto the shrines and taking curse and building that way. So it's really essentially, I think this isn't the trickiest one to find, actually. It's not related to finding curse. However, the actual ramifications for using and abusing this go beyond the actual stash itself. Again, it facilitates some of the better ways to play the game, like going into the shrines and pushing them as far as you can go, pushing the curses of the game. And I kind of see this as kind of like the Inverter, where it facilitates good play for a reward by taking the negative stuff in the game. It's a really finely balanced kind of little stash. And who doesn't love popping the stash? I mean, such a charming little curse. Opening up his box, getting a random bunch of stuff, including blessings, items, keys, curse removals, potions, that kind of thing. It's really cool. I really enjoy it. Priskip.
Yeah, I really like the stash. This thing has helped me. Yeah, this one has started. This one has helped me start many of potion loops before, where you can get a shrine potion, plop it down in the shop, have 1 or 2 curses left on your stash, open it up in the shop, get 3 or 4 potions out of it. It is fantastic. And even if you're not trying to potion loop, those extra items from this thing can sometimes include curse removals, and you can get a pretty good amount of the curse removals too, and help you help you get rid of those 10 curses that you picked up if you still have any lying around on you. So overall, this is if I see this early on, I'll take it, because hey, you're almost guaranteed to pick up 10 curses in late game, or yeah, the higher summoning stone Undermine.
How many times has this facilitated you getting 99 keys as well? You're carrying around a few double item potions. Ready with the stash. You get the stash and you're like, alright, I've got 10 10 curses I've got to get. So you time it just right to start collecting the basic item doubles. Then you get the stash and you double them, you get like 99 keys, 99 bombs, and you're on your way, son, to greatness. Especially if you find a key doubler along the way, which is something you should always plan for, even if you don't end up finding a key doubler. Because, well, you should be trying to force the RNG through transmutes on the relics anyway, so increasing your chances. So it's such a finely balanced kind of part of the game, and relics like this are what makes the game great, that it integrates itself with the transmutation and curse aspects of the game to push yourself forward. It's beautiful. I have a real fondness for this.
So where
So
were
do
you
I.
thinking about rating this? I was thinking A or A+.
A+.
I think A+, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so cool.
I love that this forces people to take the curses that they normally wouldn't take, which gets them more experience with the game in general. And then it rewards them. Here you go. Here's 15 items that will benefit your run in some way. So, yeah, love it.
Plus, it's like kind of integrated with the story as well, with Kurt's finding Kurt's. Again, anything. It's kind of like it's something like anything with personality in the game that drives the kind of either lore or story elements of the narrative forward. Again, it just makes the game more of a game, and one that we grow an attachment to, and one that should be praised for beyond its actual kind of item or benefit basis. And they'll pet her up with a smile at him. Look at him go. I think that's it for the Kurt Stash. Moving on to one of the last Shogun relics. The last Shogun relic with Glass Cannon. Legendary status. Every Shogun relic and every combination relic has been a legendary rarity, meaning it's just the hardest to find. Combination relic's not always the hardest to find, so legendary doesn't mean a whole bunch, really. It's just kind of like a status. It gets applied regardless of rarity. You can only fire it once. It fires true at its target. Another shot will not be necessary. This doubles the base damage of your swing and throwing pickaxe. It, however, will debilitate your health to 70. Although that is variable. It depends on how much meta health you have from the start of the game in the hub area. It does vary on that basis. I think it just removes half your health, doesn't it? Something like that.
Something like that.
It's kind of bad. However, if you have health blessings, Ursine Ring, and anything that increases your health, you can rebuild your health up quite nicely. And the amount of extra damage you get is significant. Double. I mean, even if you're climbing summoning stones up to the highest level, Glass Cannon, if you can muster the defense necessary to wield it, it just improves your quality of life in rooms and boss fights by a factor of double. You know, doing double damage with every other relic in the game increasing. Say you get Keyblade, any other damage, it'll be added to it. I don't think that'll be doubled either. But still, having the base doubled, since if you've got all the hub area damage, you've got about 80 swings, so you at least get an extra 80 damage from this. And of course, you'll want to be more defensible, and you will become very susceptible to poison and fire. As we have talked about before, they're really deadly, especially when you start stacking up the summoning stones and just get debilitated by them. And especially the poison, you kind of feel like you want to shake it off, but you can't. There's no actual way of removing poison once it's been attached. Again, I find this fun. It's another way of playing the game, kind of like Sun Eater, but a bit more deadly and a bit more within the natural realms of the game. Priskip, what do you think, man?
This thing always got me killed. I lose that health, I panic. I'm like, what? So yeah, I think I've only really picked this thing up a couple of times. Once for filling out the journal, and another couple of times just saying, "Fuck it, let's do it." So I don't know. It's kind of like a karmic skill for me. I'll pick it up for the memes every now and then. Headwound.
Ladies and gentlemen, 95% of you are low enough in the summoning stones pick this up. Don't question, just pick it up. Because this thing is going to give you the damage that you need to kill enemies in order to progress. Yes, it does reduce your health, but like we've said, there are relics that will help improve your health. There's blessings that will help increase your health. This is a great Shogu relic. One that in early summoning stones, yes, absolutely I picked this up. Does it have a benefit at the god tier summoning stones that we're at right now? Not really, unless we really want that challenge. But yeah, no, pick it up. Pick it up. I think that's all I can say.
Yeah.
Again, the thing is with regular low summoning stones, or when you're starting out in the game, you're gonna die anyway. At least have a bit of fun with your runs, accept your death. Especially if you've taken the sewing kit and you know you're not going to lose any gold. That's probably more what I'd incline if you've got sewing kit, so you know you're not going to have any ramifications for dying. Learn how to use the glass cannon, because when you find it as you progress your summoning stones, you're going to find it has a lot of use. You'll go back in my playlist for Undermine, you'll see a lot of thumbnails with the glass cannon in. Mostly, which don't fail. I know I've got some mad skills, if I do say so myself and honk my own horn there, honk honk. But, seriously, it's one that is viable. It's not as silly as it sounds, you know? Oh, I have no health left. Yeah, learn to play better. Not to, you know, kind of poo-poo anybody's skills, but, you know, you need to sharpen up. This helps you sharpen up, and it gives you the damage to do so.
I'll have to try it again.
Sorry, Chris.
It's just been a while since I picked this thing
I
up.
wasn't trying to,
You know what?
be rude against it.
You are a better player now, Priskip, so I think you can do it.
Yeah, to get to
Yeah, I
Summoning
don't think
Stone
I've picked
80,
this-
I mean...
90 now.
Oh, yes, 90, yeah, numbers aren't my
Oh.
thing. But Summoning Stone 90, you have to be an absolute warrior, so...
But yeah.
So, Suffer,
Very
where
good.
would you put this?
I'd attach it with Sun Eater, A+. Just for what it can do. The fun of it, it's just fun. I put things higher on the basis of new entertainment or just an extra challenge or a bit of fun, and the extra damage it gives you. I don't think I can punish it too much for taking away health, because play better. Combine and build, get fortitude, try and get nullstone before this. Try and, you know, build and get pillow and get all sorts of HP blessings. Get Ursine Ring beforehand. There's plenty of ways to offset the ramifications of the negatives of Glass Cannon, and then you get double damage. It's beautiful. Might be a bit high,
this thing some
but
more.
I'll take what you people say on board.
Yeah, I was
what do you think,
thinking more of an A or A minus for this one. I see Sun Eater as I will take that over Glass Cannon.
Yeah.
But
It's different summoning stones. I'll have to make a judgment on that one. Because earlier on,
Yeah.
I'd probably take Glass Cannon because the lack of blessings there are around in earlier summoning stones until you've unlocked everything. Sun Eater is great because of the amount. Once you've got full unlock, especially if you're Sylph, that's where Sun Eater comes into it. However, I suppose with Spirit as well, you can get a lot of blessings through just sheer amount of potions. And saying that, Ambrosia and glazing doesn't work with Spirit as well.
yeah, if we're talking about, you know, early summoning stones where majority of everybody is, I think it's an A. I think I can go with an A.
Yeah.
I think it's a
I
good
was
slot
thinking
for it.
Doomblade, but I'll agree with an A.
Doomblade doesn't give you as much HP for the ramification. Saying that, yeah, you're right. With the ramifications, that this is forced upon you, where Doomblade isn't. But Doomblade doesn't
Yeah.
give you damage for the ramifications you have to take. I've always seen Doomblade as really lackluster in the amount of damage. It could be so much more for what you have to take to achieve that damage. Glass
Alright.
Cannon is just, you know you've got it, you know you've got to, buck up, son. And I really
Yeah.
like that kind of attitude.
Well, speaking of bucking up, oh boy. One of the hardest challenges for Undermine is the Sigfried Aegis.
Other
This
mine.
thing, well, I'm talking about the game Undermine, not the Undermine as in the area Undermine, but still. One of the hardest challenges in the game is the Sigfried Aegis, and is a Undermine only relic. It appears in the first antechamber of the Undermine, in the top right corner, and if you be foolish enough to pick this thing up, you will find yourself to be in a bit of trouble. Every single floor in the Undermine, this thing will give you a major curse, and that major curse will be indestructible, meaning you cannot remove it. It is a fantastic challenge with a fantastic reward related to it, but it's an Undermine exclusive thing, so I think we'll rate it similarly to the credit cards, where we'll put it on the right hand of our list, because it is an Undermine exclusive. But I love this thing. I really love this thing. It's just so much fun for a good challenge. What are you guys' thoughts?
One of the single best challenges I've ever done in the game. Period. Just nothing else is kind of... Apart from trying to get to Summoning Stone 100 and having that entire kind of game experience, doing the Undermine and building a streak up to a certain point and then putting it all on the line is how I did it. You can do it in any way you want. You could do this from the very first run. You could do it once you've got outright experience in the game. However, my very first run of the Undermine was a Sigfried Aegis run because Twitch chat baited me into it. I died because I got crumbles and cooked the cooking food, the grill, and all my food just crumbled in front of me and I couldn't heal. However, I came back, did a 100th streak in a row, picked this up for the 100th run, got the crown, put it all on the line, and it was one of the best videos I've ever done. So again, I have just pure love for this as a concept and as something that can provide entertainment for both content creators and players of the game alike.
I really like this and hate it at the same time. I actually picked this up in the so I had been watching Suffer for a while and I hadn't really done the other mine runs. I did a couple and then decided that I wanted to do this, and I completely enjoyed and loved the experience and the challenge that the curses that are random gave to my other mine run experience. The one disappointment that I have with this is that once you pick it up, if you complete the run, you will never be able to do it again. And that to me is a disappointment.
Yeah, your idea was to streak it, wasn't it?
I wanted to do an other mine streak where every single time I picked up Sigfried Aegis. But that's
Thorium.
not available. Yeah, Thorium, please. Please, for us sick bastards who want to do this, allow us to pick up Sigfried Aegis over and over and over again.
Or even put it somewhere hidden in the shop so we could take it into the regular Undermine.
Oh my god.
That is so much fun.
No. Hashtag Wishes Brew. The Witch's Brew. That is basically a Sigfried Aegis on steroids.
Yeah, but you can still remove those.
Yeah, you can.
It's one of those things that having the indestructible curses, again, it's nothing that's replicated in the game. It's so unique as a challenge. And to have it as an actual relic, essentially optional, until you actually choose to do it. It is a shame it disappears. However, the cheekiness that you can learn how to play the game and then implement certain strategies. The Blessing Eater. Hold on. Curses that have a one-time effect are removed when they are activated, so even though they're indestructible, something like the Blessing Eater, which will remove a blessing, will no longer be a part of the run after it has eaten a blessing. And also the one that I got very lucky on, that saved my life, that I found a doll quite late on in my Sigfried Aegis run. And that blocked any more indestructible curses. Oh, I was on the ragged edge, my friends, the ragged edge. I was nearly, again, losing my 100 streak, my top tier crown. You don't get to keep your crowns if you get to the top one, you know, it's all still on the line. So, thank you, doll. And again, there's some other cheeky things you can do. It's why we want this to see the challenge extended into different areas of Undermine, Othermine.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be really cool for a full update, see what they've done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in theoretical placement in the Othermine kind of tier, where would we put this?
It's a really weird one because it's only one that has severe downside, but entertainment upside.
Yeah. For if we wanted to be practical about it, it would be an F tier because it just does nothing but hurt you.
Yeah.
We're not practical though.
For the
No.
Oh, dog. What the dog doing? But for the sheer or just for the sheer challenge of it and the entertainment value of it, I would give it an S tier.
Yeah.
In fact, what we could do if we wanted to be super cheeky, we could put it on here twice.
I like what you're thinking. Yeah, because
it's both singularly the best and the worst.
Yeah, exactly. And the reward that you get for completing the challenge is our next relic, known as the Paladin Shield. It increases swing damage, swing speed, swing size, throw damage, throw speed, throw size, bomb damage, bomb size, crit chance, and crit damage. Almost everything but the kitchen sink. This thing is no HP, which, thorium, maybe you could just add like, a 5% increase on HP just to like throw it in there to cover all the bases. Just an absolutely incredible relic. No negative besides HP. Sigfried's shield, rid of its agonizing curse, purified by the nameless wanderer, his legacy redeemed.
Hold on. Peasants have names. Not nameless whatsoever. I remember the name of the dude who purified mine.
I don't. I have a picture of it, though. Somewhere.
Well, I say I remember it in the fact that I know I could go look it up. It's not in my old brave box, It's a swing speed and swing size that always impresses me, because early on in high summoning stones, that's what you're looking for, immediately. To get you the best start you can. Because swing size is one of those things that's quite limited, and the blessing for it is really rare, any swing size relic is really, really welcome. Swing damage as well, swing size, swing speed, anything dealing with swing. Throw, you can take it or leave it. Bomb damage can bugger off. Bomb size, that's a thumbs up. Crit chance and crit damage also. That's a big thumbs up. Especially crit damage. There's only one other relic in the game that increases that, and then the blessing ferocity also increasing that also. Paladin Shield is superb. Managed to get it on yesterday I managed to get it really early on. And it changed how I felt about the run. That I knew, because it was so early on, that I could kind of take a few bad relics along the way now, because I've been sorted out in so many areas. It just changes how you feel about how you get into the run. And it feels like you've actually got a proper... even though it doesn't give... It's weird, because it doesn't actually give you any defense, even though it's a shield.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're a bit weird there.
That is very true.
Bit weird there.
Yeah.
It's rare, but again, it's one of those you'll find quite... It's not as rare as, say, Holy Guacamole, Inverter. But anything that increases these stats, that's a big thumbs up. Priskip.
Oh, I love this thing. If you find it, you just get such a confidence boost, knowing that almost every one of your stats is increased. Essentially everything but HP and defense. So, for me, I would give it an S tier.
I'm right there with you, buddy.
Indeed.
Yep. So, the final
It's
relic.
covered.
Suffer.
I got the best relic is left till last. Hot Cross Bun is a relic that is very, very, very common if you know how to get it. Right then. The whole point of the Undermine RNG in the relic pool we've been discussing, when you start out a run, all the relics are in a line. It is your job to see the first one in the first relic room, and then, alright, they're all in a line. I've got to get through this line that is in order and that order will not change, as fast as possible picking the relics that you want, dismissing the ones you don't. However, at some point, you may be lucky enough that you have transmuted the entire relic pool out of existence, because once you have seen a relic and it's no longer there, there will be, you'll never see it again. It's just gone. Bye-bye. Unless you can't restart the game anymore, can you? And get them all back? Or can you? I think you might be able to. But if you're on a run that you don't restart, this increases your maximum health by 1 HP. This occurs, it happens in the shops, it happens in the relic rooms, depending on which pool you are emptying or have emptied. If you've emptied the shop pool, the relic pool relics will go into the shop. But the shop relics, say you've emptied the relic pool relics, the shop relics won't go into the shop in the relic pool. They will be replaced by hot cross buns when you have seen or taken everything. And they literally just replace relics from then on. When you've seen one hot cross bun in the relic pool or shop, that's all you will see. Pick it up. It's pretty cheap. 5 gold for 1 HP? That's a bargain basement price. And you know you've done a good job when you see these. Just like Mum used to bake.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just one of those where when you start seeing these, you know, oh, it's either going to be, oh, cool, I made it through all the relics. Or it's going to be, wait, what happened to devotion?
It's a shop relic.
And then you're like, oh, it was probably one of those relics that was on the curse pole that I didn't take, and you know, or something of that sort.
Or Black Rabbit's box, mystery box. That's always a possibility as well.
Yeah, I'm not. That's a weird one. That is a weird one. But yeah, the hot cross buns. It's no negative, only positive. But its increase is so minor that that may be considered a negative in a way.
I think it's not necessarily the benefit you get from it, but what it signifies.
Yeah. I'm almost thinking that maybe this isn't classified as an S to F tier or even P. This is just you get them, take them or don't. It's not going to change your run. You know, here you go. Congratulations. It's like getting a crown at the very end, except for it's a nice hot bun for all of the hard work that you did getting through the relic pool. Here you go.
I would
Just
put these
like
things,
Mom used to bake.
Yeah, I would put these things at an A+ just because, hey, it signifies that you've gone through all the relics in the game, except maybe some of the showgirl relics, but you've gone through all the normal relics in the game, which, for the most part, is usually a good thing, but there is a small occasion where you're like, drat, I missed something. Where is it? Or where was it? And that's not necessarily such a good thing. And again, the HP increase is so minor, but I'd just put it I'd probably put it in the A, like A+, A. Just because of what it signifies.
If we could make a combination picture of Pet Rock eating a hot cross bun, I'd be more than happy to put it in the P tier. As long as we had that level of cuteness. That would...
Can I do that?
But we can't do that right now.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for the next series of Relic tier Undermine. Tier list, and we'll sort that out for you. You know, stay tuned.
But where do we want to put it for now?
Ugh.
A+?
I don't see why not. I have literally no opinion.
I don't. I can see it fitting in every single position across this entire graph. But A+, that is totally fine.
Put it under, again,
fine.
just to signify its complete difference. I know people may get confused and like, oh, it's another
You know what?
mine. Let's put it in the other side. Yeah. Oh, it's too far. It's gone. The tier list is evaporating before our very eyes.
Well, we gotta start all over again. It's nothing but hot cross buns.
That's essentially what it should be, actually.
But yeah, I don't know. I'll just put it over here.
Yeah, exactly. That's where it kind of
That's fine.
belongs.
Hey,
It's
I'll
got a
get it
nice
all-
kind of balance to it as well, where we've obviously got our P tier at top. Only a few made it into the Fs, and everything in the middle, it kind of... a little bit of a bell curve going on. A tiny bit in the A's and the B pluses.
I
It's
think
been
almost
this
looks
is
like
nicely
the.
balanced.
Oh, jeez.
Almost
It's
looks like this,
identical.
but sideways.
It's
Or can I
identical.
rotate it?
Yeah, I think this just.
Yes, I can rotate it. It looks like this.
Yeah.
It does actually. Damn you!
Math comes through once again.
Gonna come back
Oh,
down to Black
man.
Rabbit, you know?
Yeah.
In the capitalistic ways. Maybe she, you know,
But-
put in the relics in the tier list herself. Indeed, the familiars should be really, again, probably a standalone episode, but we should be able to cover everything we need to cover with the familiars in a good amount of
There's 11
time.
of them.
However, this series has come to an end, my friends. I know it's been a long journey, but thank you all for sticking with me here. Thank you,
You're welcome.
Priskip, again, for joining us on this journey as well.
Hey, I thank you for having me.
Headwound, again, it's been a pleasure, man. Thank you.
Oh, it's been awesome. Thank you for inviting me to this.
Oh, it's been beautiful. All the way, you know? I've seen it from the very first episode, for the few relics that were on there, to see it building to here right now. And it's a great list. Again, everything seems like it's still a few questions, I believe. But again, when we come to re-examine this, I will give everything a little bit of a, you know, maybe a readjustment where it needs it. Again, get in the comments if you have any opinions about where things should be if you believe we got it in the wrong order. Let us know. You know? You'll have an opinion, I'm sure you do. If you play Undermine, you're just like us, you know? You've got your own opinions on each of these. We'd love to hear them. So get in the comment section. And also, if you'd like to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, that would be really appreciated too. Also, check out Headwound's content here on YouTube for Undermine content also. And twitch.tv/Let's Suffer Together /Headwound and /Priskip. With the Undermine game coming out, full release on the 6th of August, you'll be wanting to get the most amount of Undermine content from your three favourite Undermine content creating producers, I suppose? Yeah, that works. However, for now, it's been a pleasure. Thank you again for watching all the way through. I've been Suffer of Let's Suffer Together. Take it easy, guys.
Bye.
Later.